Welcome back, everybody. It's thePAbae. I am dropping another video. This one is all about my life update and how I now live in Atlanta and my move and all that good stuff. So if you're new to this channel, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and comment, and let's get this started. All right, so first off, the big question is, why did I move? There's a couple factors. Well, in my last job, I lived in Vegas and I was working in an interventional pain management facility with management and how things were being ran, especially in the midst of a global pandemic. You start to learn how these companies really feel about you, and I wasn't too pleased because I caught COVID in June and I don't know, it's kind of like a wake-up call, really, because these jobs don't really care about you at all. And I also learned the importance of having a village when raising a small child because I have a 2-year-old. So when I got laid off, it was really funny because I was actually planning to turn in my resignation letter, and it was giving me a lot of anxiety and stress. So when they laid me off, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air. Like, I made a video about how they laid me off out of nowhere after I worked the whole morning. And that moment was kind of surreal because, like, although I was pretty shocked and I kind of felt disrespected, I feel like it was God giving me the okay and opening the door for me to make the next step, because I had felt this like heaviness for like the month or so before. Like, I felt like a transition was happening and that God wanted me to move, and I was dealing with that, and it was affecting my mental health. So when I got laid off, I kind of actually smiled and laughed in the room, and they were probably thinking like, this girl is nuts. But so yeah, I got laid off and I was like, well, I guess I'm moving. And I made it happen. The only thing I had done at that point was decided that the goal was for me to move to Atlanta because I could not fathom moving back to Louisville. I just can't do it. I love Louisville, but I just can't do it. I had applied for my emergency practice permit in Georgia. With the pandemic, they want providers to work. They need providers everywhere, so that got approved very quickly. So I just, packed up and was ready to go. My job decided to pay me for the next 30 days instead of giving me a 30-day notice, which was included in my contract. So that was nice as well. Kind of gave me a little cushion. And kind of just working before that, I had a little savings account to, live off of. So although it was pretty scary and I didn't have a job or a home or anything set up in Atlanta, I was just like, time to go. So knowing I didn't want to move to Louisville, Kentucky, where my family is, I decided that Atlanta would be a good idea because Kate's dad's side of the family lives in Atlanta. So family's there. So I was like, okay, I can probably have the best of both worlds. Like, some family support, Kate will be around family that he hadn't really spent much time with up to that point. And, I can start fresh and be able to have more of a life, kind of. Because in Vegas, all I did was work and go home, really. Because, I didn't have any family support there to watch Kate. Babysitters scare me. So I really didn't have much of a social life or life. So I stayed in Louisville for a couple weeks with my mom. And although I enjoyed her hospitality, I was like, this can't last long. I gotta go. But I did want to take a break and just breathe for once. Because, up to that point, I had just spent so much time and energy, getting through undergrad, then getting through PA school, and then starting my career. And I never really had the opportunity to just sit down and be still and kind of learn that my worth and how I feel about myself isn't tied to my productivity, which was, something that is important. But after that, I was just like, all right, it's time to move to Atlanta. So I started applying for jobs. When I say I was on ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Monster, all that every day, like it was a social media site, like just applying to jobs every day. It got to the point where I was going on interviews, like 3 to 4 interviews a week. Like, I became a professional interviewer. It didn't even scare me anymore. That's how good I got at interviews. And it took me about a good month to find a job, a good job, a job offer that I wanted to accept. And the job that I ended up in turned out to be my dream job. Although I didn't see myself doing personal injury, it is very lucrative and it is pretty low stress, which is what I enjoy. Some people that practice medicine love the thrill, saving lives. That's all cool and kudos to that. But I like low stress, high money, leave work at work, and it gives me the opportunity to work on other things, which I am. So my search for an apartment didn't really last long. I probably visited 2 or 3 places, including the place I decided to go with. And when I visited, they had like this special, well, if you sign the lease today, then you get this, 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 this. Like the apartment I moved in, they gave me the first month free, which was nice. And then the next 2 months, they gave a $1,000 off, like gift card thing. And I got like a free storage room or whatever, really nice. So I live in Buckhead, Atlanta, in one of these little luxury, expensive apartments. I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I'll eventually do an apartment tour. I'm still trying to get everything set up, get all my furniture, get Kay's room together, my room together. But I'll eventually show you guys for sure. Since I've been here, I've connected, with a lot of people, especially PAs that I know from social media, and other people in other fields, of course. I found my own little tribe here. My friends who I love and adore, and good, healthy friendships, with accountability. It's good to be around people who, want to see you win and y'all kind of on the same level because, honey, I've had my fair share of friendships and transition wasn't really as smooth as it sounds, though. I depleted my savings account, which is not fun. I had like maybe $10,000 saved. It was pretty much gone after I signed my lease. So just stepping out on faith, a whole lot of that, trusting God, a whole lot of that. It's pretty much what my life has looked like up to this point. So, and adversity doesn't really scare me at this point. I don't know. I feel like I have this crazy ability to walk through fire and not get burned, which is a blessing and a curse. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm here. I love Atlanta. It's definitely a beautiful place with a lot of beautiful people, with a lot of beautiful opportunities. Before I started working, when I was still job searching and going on all those interviews, man, I was having a ball. While I was out, I was kind of in these streets having a good time. But now that I started working, I'm too washed for that now. I'm just chill, go to work and chill. Might pop out every now and then. And it's the winter. It's pretty cold, so I don't like going out all the time in the cold. So moral of the story is, if you're feeling that pressure and you've been going back and forth with the idea to move to another state, another city, just move. We're young. I mean, worst case scenario, you don't like it, you can move back. There's so much more life out there than, your hometown. And I'm so very glad that I took that leap of faith. And honestly, like I said, I kind of feel like God pushed me into it. And he's always pushed me into purpose, even though it doesn't feel good all the time. And even though I may be confused, but I know that everything is working together for my good. And life is so much better now. Less stress, a better job, literally making like double what I was making in Vegas, which is insane. Better home. I love my little luxury bougie apartment. It's expensive and I probably pay way too much for it. But I mean, I love it. So that's really what matters. I love these vaulted ceilings. You can't see them, but they're awesome. I have more support with my son. He's happy. He gets to see his family a lot more. It's just all around better. All right, so that wraps up this video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support and stay tuned for more videos coming.